how did AngelList come about?
Yeah, so it's exactly that, which is basically self-actualizing, creating the product that you want. So the initial problem was entrepreneurs go out and raise money. It's complete black box. Nobody knows what to do. They do the most important negotiation of their life, which is the initial term sheet or initial deal with a venture capitalist, and they have no information. So they need that information. Boy, I wish I'd had that information. And that's where Venture Hacks came from. And then AngelList was, well, okay, that's how you negotiate a term sheet. How do I get a term sheet? How do I find investors in the first place? And for that, we built a product. And then a few years into AngelList development, it became very clear the biggest problem in this environment is not how do I raise capital? It's how do I get help building my business? How do I find great individuals to help me? And how do I recruit great talent? So we created both our syndicates product, where you, of course, are one of our top leaders who invest in companies, as well as we created our jobs product, which helps companies find great engineers. At the end of the day, we stand for founders. We stand for underdogs. And, it's funny, you asked me at the beginning, how do I describe what I do? I said, I'm an entrepreneur. And in the back of my mind, what AngelList does is it helps founders fund other founders. And on the recruiting side, it helps founders recruit and find other founders. And in fact, when I look inside AngelList itself, the company is only 30 people. Almost everyone in the company is a former founder or wants to be a future founder and is getting their training wheels on at AngelList and then is going to go start a great company. And we've had former engineers from us go and start companies like Instacart and Cover, and many more will come out of it. So at the end of the day, to me, it's all about founders, it's all about individuals, it's all about the underdog. And I think long term, on a long enough time scale, maybe it's 50 years from now, maybe it's 500 years from now, but almost everybody on this planet will work for themselves. The information revolution is reversing the industrial revolution. What the industrial age did was it allowed human beings to team up in mechanistic, organized, hierarchical ways to create factories and production. And I think the information revolution is breaking down the communication barriers. It's saying the optimal size of the firm is shrinking from thousands to hundreds to dozens, maybe even to one at some point. And eventually, every morning, someone will wake up, or every week you will wake up, and on your phone or whatever the devices of the future, you will get an alert with a various bunch of jobs and contracts that you can choose from. You'll look at them. You'll pick out which ones you like based on your social connections and how much they're offering you and how much it can build your profile and your future work. And you'll do that work, and then you'll be ranked on it. You'll be rated on it. And then if you want to take the next week off, you'll take the next week off. If you want to do 2 jobs at a time, you'll do 2 jobs at a time. But I think the future is all headed towards individual brands. You can see how reporters on the New York Times now, they build individual brands on Twitter that far exceed the brand that they would build just under the New York Times. You yourself, you're an individual brand. There is nothing else other than Tim Ferris. Tim Ferris doesn't work for CNN. Tim Ferris doesn't work for Apple, doesn't work for New York Times. You're an independent brand and you're an independent actor. And I think the entire world is headed that way. And so to me, I was lucky enough to be a founder early, but I figured out how hard it is. What are the parts of it that work, the parts of it that don't? And so now what makes me happy is to work on a platform that creates more founders and helps those founders. Because I think at the end of the day, we're all founders. We're all meant to work for ourselves. We're meant to be individuals. We're not meant to follow. We're not meant to be in hierarchies. We're not meant to go to 9-to-5 jobs where we're told what to do over and over. And the sooner we get off the grid and self-actualize and become free, the better off all of humanity is.